Coach, I know it was a loss, unfortunately, but your first game as head coach, how did it feel?
Um, yeah, it felt okay. I thought the guys, what I was very proud of our guys is that we didn't shoot the ball very well tonight, and we competed though. We had multiple runs, a run at the end of the first, a run at the end of the second, then a run at the end of the fourth, where we were down and our guys kept fighting. And they did that without making shots, and that can be energy draining at times. So the competitiveness was there, but I think it was just the bar we set for each other as an organization, as a group. The bar was good, but that's just the first step. So we got to keep going.
Before the game, you were talking a lot about growing as a team and getting better
Yeah.
defensively and competing better.
Yeah.
When Marvin Bagley steps in like that off the bench and has a very solid performance like he's done multiple times already, does that maybe entice you a little bit more to play a two-big lineup with him and Gafford going against another two-big lineup in Markin and Collins?
I think everything is always on the table. We're still learning our group, and we talked about really being in a discovery phase of how to best use the lineups that we have. Marvin's been a great addition for us. He's given us a great spark, so we're thrilled to have him, and he's given us something we haven't had, a guy who can really offensive rebound, good scorer, and he's shown some good stuff on the defensive end, protecting the rim. So I think all that stuff is definitely on the table, but I was pleased with our process tonight. We didn't shoot the ball well. I think we had 33 assists, and we only made 7 threes. So, that's good. We played at the pace that we wanted to. If we made those shots, it would have been right there. But again, I was proud of our resilience within the game. That was really important to me tonight.
Brian, how did you address the guys today? When did you first get to kind of talk to them, and then more centered on the game? Are you a big pregame speech guy? What's your style there?
Talked with the team in the afternoon, as we usually would on a kind of like a back-to-back situation, and we just were open with each other. I'll leave that some of what we talked about as a group in there because I think that's important to protect our locker room and what we're doing. But we talked about raising our standards, and we talked about competing, and I really believe I think I saw that tonight. Even when it didn't look great offensively because we were missing shots, we kept competing, and that has to be the bar for us going forward. It's really important for us.
You called a timeout 107 into the game.
I did.
Why?
They got to lay up in transition defense, and that is something that cannot be what we're about. And they needed to feel that from me right away. And that's the bar we got to set. And they accepted it, and they understand what we're going to be doing going forward, that stuff's not going to be tolerated.
Was it even worse that it came off of a made basket by?
Of course. Of course.
Brian, can you fill us in just a little bit on your background? When was the last time you were the head coach for either a game or an exhibition game or summer league?
Summer League, probably. Long time ago in Oklahoma City. I had a pretty good starting backcourt. I had Russell Westbrook and James Harden and Serge Ibaka out there playing, so we did pretty good. We had 2 MVPs in the backcourt and the guy who led the league in shot blocks for 5 or 6 years on the court together. So I think that was the last time, Josh.
Is that something that's similar to riding a bike, where you never quite lose? It doesn't feel foreign to you when you're back on the sideline in that role. Does that make sense?
I think so. Look, today I was focused on our group and trying to get the best out of our group. I tried to take myself out of the equation, even though there's probably a lot of emotion going on with me. I'm a steward in the voice that gets in front of the media, but I'm part of the group too. So felt like my responsibility today was to uplift us and get us into a level of competitiveness that has to be the standard and bar. Yes, I probably will think about it at some point that I actually was coaching the game tonight, but I have bigger responsibilities than that now. I have to think about the group.
The Jazz were kind of going in and out of his zone a little bit, especially in the first half. I know you mentioned just missed shots contributing to a lower scoring night, but how do you feel like the guys did responding to that zone and when they were going in and out of it and the quality of looks?
I thought our looks were great. I thought we figured out, I think we had a little stagnation maybe early, and then we figured out how to get into the teeth of it, and then I felt like we got good shots. If I go back on it, I thought our process was good. We had some little floaters in the lane we missed. We missed some wide open threes, but I felt like our process was pretty good. As you can see, even by our assist level, like our guys were doing the right thing. The shots just didn't go in. So we're going to live with that. But I felt like the process was good.
What were your reactions to the news that Wes had been moved out of his position?
I mean, it was early in the morning when I found out. Obviously, it was probably just a tough day overall for us. Just physically, one, because we had a back-to-back, and then mentally as well, just with the change in staff that we had, and going through 40 games. Our effort, our energy that we displayed as a team probably wasn't up to par, and same for that on the other side as well. So naturally, I guess something had to make a change, and that's just what the front office decided to do. And yeah.
Yeah, piggyback off of what Kuz said. It was early in the morning. It's just, it's a part of the business. It's an unfortunate situation. Somebody, he put his time and effort in and energy. But like Kuz said, it was just time for a new voice. And yeah, we're going with BK. Gonna listen to him. Gonna follow his lead. And we're 40 some games in. We weren't making the strides that were needed, and that the front office wanted us to be making, and so we're continuing to try to improve and to try to do so.
Tyus, I believe Brian is your position coach, or
Yeah. Yep.
What is he like for people who are unfamiliar with him?
Mhm.
What is he like, and what are his strengths?
He's blunt, straight to business, no nonsense. He's gonna tell you like it is, but he's very respectful. He's he wants to see you succeed. He wants the best from you and out of you. And he's somebody that everybody in the building respects. They respect his work ethic. They respect what he brings to the table. But yeah, again, he's very no nonsense, straight to business, and yeah, we're gonna follow his lead.
For either of you guys, the thing people are talking a lot about is as Kuz mentioned, kind of competitiveness not being where it needs to be, defense, energy, effort. I think those are all things we associate with like being on the players. So I'm wondering how a new voice affects that. Like just having a new person at the head, does that energize you guys, or what effect does it have on a locker room?
I just think just the overall organizational approach right now. I think a lot of people are focused on something that's very micro, which is the coaching. But I think as a whole right now, we're looking as a organizational mindset shift, and that's like defense and accountability. And I think those are the first two building blocks that that's going to be an emphasis, and something that we kind of lacked over the past 40 something games. So that's something that you're just going to expect. And when you're talking about competitiveness and effort, the number one teacher of that is the bench. So if you're not doing that, if you're not playing for your teammate, if you're not giving it your all, you can come learn on the bench. And I think that that's going to resonate, because that's everybody. That's me too. If I'm BSing, I told B. Keith, tell Tyler all the time, call me out, and that just trickles down to everybody. And that's just the shift we have for the next 39 games. So
It's for Will and Michael to make that kind of shift. You've been here under a different front office, of course. What does it say about how they operate, or how they're maybe willing to adjust, even if it is in the middle of a season, in the middle of a back-to-back?
I mean, proactive, not reactive. I think that's just the biggest thing right there. Making changes like this is very tough, very, very challenging, and especially to let go of a coach halfway through the year, that puts a lot of stress on the team, a lot of emotions, a lot of change up, a lot of turnover. So yeah, it's a lot, but there's no crying on a yacht. So
For Kuz, Winger and Dawkins both kind of drew the distinction between a lot of guys having good individual years, young players taking steps forward. Both you guys obviously having good years, and the lack of success for the team overall. How can you guys bridge that gap?
well, that's what's going to happen on young teams. I think that's what people don't realize. I can just go back to my time with the Lakers, my first couple of years when it was me, Lonzo, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram, Jordan Clarkson, and Julius Randle. We all were just trying to slug it out and fight each other for positioning on the team and positioning and establishment in the league. And I think a lot of what we've had the past months has been a little bit of that, just from a standpoint, not being selfish, but trying to improve and have great individual seasons. But, having a good year doesn't mean it's good for the team. So, how can we, like you said, bridge that gap, and how can we combine, okay, well, Denny's having a great year, but what can he sacrifice just a little bit so the team can do? What can I sacrifice a little bit to help, somebody else pick it up? And that's overall going to make everything better. So I think that's just what we have to look at and think about.
Shifting the focus a little bit to tonight's game, this is for either one of you guys. What do you think the biggest difference was in the separation tonight?
We didn't hit shots. That's all. Played with great effort. Probably one of our best effort nights. I shot 1 for 8 down the line. So
BK kind of alluded to the same thing and said that he liked your guys' poise to make runs towards the end of the first quarter, second quarter, fourth quarter, even in spite of not hitting shots. What does that say about kind of the mentality of the group today, especially, like you said, both physically and mentally coming off of a tough 24 hours?
We're going to keep going. Keep going. We're going to be resilient. We're going to continue to fight. That's something that we talked about today. Just one of the things that we have to pick up on is competitiveness. There can't be any lay down. There can't be any point in the game where our heads are down, we're sulking, we just kind of concede. There's got to be fight for 48 minutes. And when you look up when that final buzzer goes off, you can live with the results, just knowing that we gave it 110%. We fought on both ends of the floor. We stayed disciplined, stuck to the game plan. And so those are the areas that we're going to improve on is our effort. And we did a good job of that in the first one tonight. So,
what was your reaction to the decision about Wes?
First of all, it's heartbroken for Wes. He's a really, really good man, and I've learned a lot from him. Obviously, he and I came in together as I was a rookie and he was a rookie head coach too, and I owe him a lot. The decisions he made to put me on the floor and give me a chance was pivotal for my career. So I was heartbroken for him, but decisions have to be made in this league and for an organization like us, and we wanted to obviously move in a different direction, and us as players, our job is to go play, no matter who's coaching us.
Where do you feel like in conversations Kuz has mentioned, we haven't really changed that much all season, things are going well, but something isn't working. Do you feel like this is a change that will solve some of those? I understand it's hard to pinpoint now, but do you feel like the new voice was the thing that was needed?
Yeah, we're turning over every rock, trying everything to get the season back on track, and like I said, to play like a team we think we are. We haven't showed that, or haven't been anywhere near showing that for the first, over half of the season. So I think a change of voice and a change of scenery is going to be a good thing for us in the long run. And obviously there's going to be a little bit of an adjustment period as BK gets used to us and we get used to him being our head coach. But we think in the long term it's going to be a really good thing.